Hello again. There are some uncanny similarities between Hitler and Keir Starmer. I do not, of course, mean to suggest that Keir Starmer is a mad dictator who wishes to conquer Europe. Rather, he managed to get a third of the voters at an election to back him, and then once he had formed an administration, he began doing all kinds of things which he had not mentioned before the election. Had Hitler mentioned before the election in November 1932 that he had it in mind to establish a harsh dictatorship and start wars with half the countries in Europe, then it might perhaps have harmed his prospects and resulted in fewer votes. In the same way, if Starmer had announced that he would be abolishing the winter fuel payment for pensioners, slashing social security benefits, raising national insurance contributions for employers, and rejoining the European Union before he got in, then it is quite possible that fewer than a third of voters would have backed him. We tend in this country to have an almost superstitious reverence for democracy, and anybody who suggests that there might be advantages in ditching it for a while will be looked at askance. As for hinting at illegal activity aimed at removing an elected leader, well, that is regarded as being very undesirable. And yet, surely there comes a time when a leader can and should be removed if he lacks a firm mandate and is embarking upon a course of action which is liable to prove ruinous to the country which he rules. Let's face it, if anybody in Germany after 1933 had launched a resistance movement aimed at removing Hitler from power, would we today condemn such an enterprise? Looking back in retrospect, there were people who conspired against the Nazi regime, despite the fact that it had been democratically elected, with just the same share of the vote as Keir Starmer managed to get. If we would praise those who set up a resistance movement to try and remove the democratically elected Hitler from power, why then should we not extend the same sympathy to people setting up a resistance movement in this country today, with the aim of toppling Starmer as soon as possible? Just as some people in 1930s Germany could see that the man who had been voted in was set on a course which would destroy the country, so too today there are those who believe that the leader has embarked on a treasonous path which will destroy their country. Are they justified in doing nothing and waiting until the next election? Or should they organise and set up a movement with the intention of sabotaging the plans of the man sitting in 10 Downing Street? Would this make them patriots or traitors? I am asking these questions because the present course upon which the British government is set might result in irreversible harm to the nation. In other words, after another 4 years of what we are now experiencing, there may be no way back. Is it the duty of honest Englishmen simply to sit back and do nothing? Or is it to organise and resist? I hope that it will not be thought that I am advocating violence or illegal actions. I am rather inviting people to consider the two cases of Hitler and Starmer, and to think deeply about the extent to which we should feel an obligation to be loyal towards somebody against whom 2/3 of the electorate voted.